You get the role on Curb, and then you shot to stardom quickly. That's a big role for your first big break.
Well, it was interesting because the show was, I don't want to say small, but compared to the other shows that were on HBO at the time. I mean, when we premiered after Sex and the City, before The Sopranos.
Wow.
So you had those shows that were so big. And remember the Sunday nights watching it?
Yes, it was appointment television.
So we were kind of the little show in between. It was supposed to look like a documentary. So it was sort of, it was not shiny and pretty like the others. And so at the beginning, it was really the industry liked the show. Because they loved Larry. Larry co-created Seinfeld, and he's so funny, and everybody wanted to see what he was going to do. And but the rest of the country, a lot of people didn't know what to make of it.
What is it? It took a while to get familiar with it and its cadence and realize like it's a show about nothing, like Seinfeld. It really is.
Yeah, and there aren't punchlines because there's no script.
No, but you never turn out without having had genuine laughs.
Yeah,
I mean,
even when you sit down and you think, I'm not in the mood to laugh out loud.
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch this. And then Larry does, I don't know, trip Shaquille O'Neal during a Lakers game, and now all of LA is mad at him.
Or he's stealing sneakers from the Holocaust Museum.
Oh my God!
Like nothing is untouchable.
No,
nothing.
No, and then you can't. And you turn it off, going, I can't believe he just did that.
Right?
How is he still getting away with it?
I know he can get away with it. So no, what? So then, 2014, you and Bobby got together. What was the year you guys got together?
I don't know.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, let's say somewhere in there.
And at that point, he was a Democrat from a famous family who was an environmental lawyer. So I imagine there was no like, why him? Like there would have been had you married him like today.
Right.
Okay. So it's like, great, cool, Kennedy.
Right.
But then he, now I feel like knowing him the way I know him, which is just a little from, this era of his life, seems inevitable he was going to get into politics in some way. Like he's just too dedicated to like helping people and these causes that mean so much to him.
Right.
So, but it was a surprise to you. He went first, people may forget, he ran for president for a year and a half before he actually, endorsed Trump, and then
I haven't forgotten that.
Went the HHS route. So you, not only does he decide he's getting into politics, he's getting into presidential politics. And by the way, I guess we kind of skipped the part where he was banned. He was at the top of the disinformation dozen by the Biden White House.
Right.
Ours was one of the very first shows that platformed him. And he's been very sweet and thanked us publicly many times for helping pave the way back.
He's very grateful to you.
Oh my God, it was our pleasure. But you would not believe how hard it was because none of the platforms wanted him.
Yeah.
So we had to do this crazy interview with him. It was 3 hours long, 4 hours. We did 2 hours and 2 hours. Where like we had to fact check him on all these things just to make it live.
Right.
Quote, fact check.
Right.
In other words, just challenge him.
Right.
And he did, it lived on every single platform. And after that, he was like not untouchable anymore. Yeah. It was like we had done it and it was like, it's fine. You can interview him and it can live and you won't get censored everywhere.
Right.
And then the more people listen to him, I think the more they were like, oh my God, he makes so much sense.
Yes.
This is what they've been telling us is so terrifying.
I know.
So what was that like for you to see him sort of normal environmental lawyer, then disinformation dozen, banned, and then kind of back and running for president?
Well, that's why I wrote a book. Because it was crazy. It was crazy. There were times that were really challenging. And also times that were fun, more challenging than fun, but it was definitely a shift. And it's strange the way it all happened, right? Because when everybody shut down for COVID, there was a shift in the world, right?
Yeah.
And probably a shift in everybody's family because everybody locked down. And now you're with your family under the same roof 24/7. So that was a shift in itself. And then, Bobby was questioning the vaccine safety. And that was so people were so passionate about it.
Volatile. You were not allowed. It was like, but the odd thing was, I mean, odd in a weird way, is like a lot of crunchy people in California had questions. You know, his constituency was sort of weird.
Yeah.
You couldn't always predict it by party label or even voting history. Like a lot of these people probably never voted.
Right.
But they had questions too.
Right. Which I love that about Bobby. And I loved when he was running, I really loved his supporters and the makeup of the supporters, because there were Republicans, independents, and Democrats who were coming together, and they were, you know, they were all there because they wanted something better for each other, for themselves. And they supported Bobby, and it was so great. I just loved his, you know, supporters. But it was so interesting because, yes, in LA, there is a lot of, but people are, I would say, very careful about what they eat, what, you know, they
very
exercise. Yeah. So you have these people, mothers, who have always been thoughtful about what they give their kids as far as medicine goes. They, you know, so then when Bobby steps forward and says, I hear you, and you're right, you should be questioning, you should be thinking about it. Then to see some people turn against him was so strange.
It's like on that issue. I mean, I've said this before. When I was at Fox, if you said anything about the vaccine schedule for kids, you get a call immediately to stop talking about that.
Yeah.
And, you know, Pfizer was one of our big advertisers. Right. I was young and didn't really put it together.
Right.
But it is crazy. Like, there are certain things you're not allowed to talk about.
You can't talk about it.
And he was like, a third rail? Let me love it. Let me hold it. And you're over there like,
Bobby. No. Everybody, you're like making people go crazy. He's like, I don't care.
No, and you could tell that's true.
Yeah. That's the challenge.
Yeah. A new opportunity arose, shall we say.
Yes, an opportunity. I like the way that you say that. So it was interesting because, you know, the thing about LA too, that I think a lot of people think about it, because it is very liberal. And at the same time, there are plenty of people who aren't. There are plenty of Republicans,
the ones who don't say anything.
Yeah,
those are the Republicans.
Yeah. So it was tough because I did, and I talk about it in the book Unscripted.
There we go, by Cheryl Hines.
By Cheryl Hines, coming out November 11th. I talk about it because I would have been happy to never talk about vaccines. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because it's very important. And it's, of course, very important to everyone's health, and we need to look at it. But that's not what I do.
No.
It's not my background. It's not. And at that time, I had people from both sides coming at me saying, let me tell you about this thing that happened to me, or tell your husband to stop saying that.
Oh, gosh.
And it was overwhelming at times, you know.
He felt so bad.
I know.
When we talked to him in whatever it was, 21, he felt so bad. He was like, poor Cheryl. Like,
I know.
She's the nicest person. And
he was, I know.
And he offered like to do a fake separation just so you didn't get the blowback. That's like,
which was sweet, but I was thinking, I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, no. Those things can tend to lead to the real deal.
Well, right. Yeah. It's like, oh, are they separated? And then that's the story. Are they separated? No, they're still together.
No, but it's crazy how people expected you actually to leave him.
Yeah.
Like, of course, my team pulled together all sorts of tweets, but the one I'll read, and I don't want to give the haters a lot of airtime, but the one, let me see if I can find it. It was from Bradley Whitford, who I really wanted to punch in the face after reading this. My God, what a douchebag. Here
and I talk about it. I talk about that in my book.
He really thinks he's like, he thinks he's the West Wing character. Hello.
I know.
He tweets out, hey, Cheryl Hines, way to stay silent while your lunatic husband throws his support behind the adjudicated rapist who brags about stripping women of their fundamental rights. Gutsy. Great example for the kids. Profile and courage. Do you ever think about responding? Do you ever want to be like, yo, Bradley, go fuck yourself.
Yes. I've had those thoughts. Well, it's interesting because, I know Bradley. Just casually, I'm sure I've worked with him somewhere, somehow. But so I talk about it in the book because I tried to stay off social media. I tried to stay off it as much as possible. And then I wake up and I see these texts like, wow, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, let's see, of all the guys I know that could be an asshole, making bets with myself, who could this be?
Well, I'm sorry, but you must have thought Rob Reiner first, because I know you worked with him. Like, he's got crazy TDS.
Yeah, but Rob, I like Rob, and I don't think he would ever. He would never come after me personally.
Yeah, there's a difference.
He might go after Bobby.
And that's fine.
What's
so weird about this?
Out there.
Yeah, what's so weird about this is coming for you, the spouse.
I know. I was so. I was sort of confused because I didn't understand what he was hoping for.
Yeah, like you're supposed to walk out in a huff.
Yeah. He's right.
Yeah. It's over.
It's over, Bobby. It was very odd. And that day I kept, I'm texting my best friend, Rachel. I'm like, and my friend Ann. And I'm like, do I say anything?
Do I need to make a statement? I love my husband and I'm not going to have a divorce over his politics. Sorry.
So he could feel better?
Yeah, so
worse, or I don't know.
So that I can maintain Bradley's love. You're more important to me, Bradley.
Right. Thank you for this tweet. Now that you mentioned it, I'm going to do some work. So it was interesting because I didn't do anything. I just, took a breath and was, at the end of the day, it's in my opinion, sort of a silly tweet. Also, what does he say? Something about the kids, like, good example for the kids.
Yeah.
I was like, what kids? Right. What? I didn't even understand that part either.
Bobby's stepkids? Yeah. Or your stepkids of his?
Right. And it's like, well, actually, for my kids, I think it's good to stand by your husband, your wife, your spouse when they're doing something that's important. So that was also...
It's very strange. You do find out, as Eric Trump was just telling us on the show on Friday, who your friends are when you get into politics. That Donald Trump Sr. sat them all down when he announced him 15 and said, now we're going to find out who our friends are. And it's so true.
Yeah.
Like, because there'd be highs and lows. And I've said this many times on the show, but no one gets as bad as Bobby, like from the press. They hate Elon. The press hates Elon. They hate Pete Hegseth. But they really hate Bobby in a particular way because he was a Democrat and you're not allowed to turn on them.
But by the way, when he was a Democrat, they did not embrace him.
No, because he was asking the wrong questions. He was embracing the wrong third rails. But I was telling the audience, in my house, I get the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and the New York Post every day. And when he's in the news for whatever, all three are bad. It's very rare. The very rare figure who has universally bad press.
Right.
But he's the most popular cabinet member. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah. He's the most popular with the people and the least popular with the press.
Right.
Which I think says he's doing something right. Buy gold and get free silver. That's right. For every $5,000 purchase from Birch Gold Group this month in advance of Veterans Day, they will send you a free patriotic silver round that commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. Look, gold is up over 40% since the beginning of this year. 40. And Birch Gold can help you own it by converting an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Plus, they will send you your free silver honoring our veterans on qualifying purchases. And if you're current or former military, Birch Gold has a special offer just for you. They are waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider diversifying your savings into gold. Text MK to the number 989898 for a free info kit and to claim your eligibility for free silver with qualifying purchase before the end of the month. Again, text MK to the number 989898. Message and data rates may apply. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.